Everyone is talking about my success, and I was asked to share my success story here. But that is not something I would like to talk a lot about. What I would like to talk about is the story of my failures. Because those failures, I've been preparing for the last 3 years, and I've been facing failures continuously in this examination and in a lot of areas. And those failures are the ones who, molded my success and asked me to come here and sit here today. A few months back, I was in this very institute. I was here to write an examination on air traffic control. I was here to write that exam, and I failed in that exam. And I think that one failure actually didn't define me. Or I've been facing continuous failures in a lot of examinations, and I think that is the paving stone to my success today. So today I would like to talk to you about my failures. And this was never my dream, getting into civil service. I always wanted to get into the Indian Air Force. My grandfather, he was an Indian Air Force veteran. He used to tell me a lot of stories about the Air Force days, and I always wanted to serve in the Indian Air Force. I even attempted the AFCAT after my engineering degree. I even got an SSB call. I attended the SSB. I cleared the SSB. So that is something that is, very unique. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. So I thought I've succeeded. But then they called me for the medical examination. And then what happened was I was diagnosed with a condition called flat feet. So if you know what is flat feet, you'll not be able to run very fast, or your leg will break very easily. And I was rejected. I couldn't get into the Indian Air Force. And I didn't have a plan B. So my whole dream, from 5th standard, 6th standard, I've been dreaming of getting into the Indian Air Force, wearing that uniform, flying. And that was shattered in a day, and for no fault of my own. I couldn't change my feet. There was no cure for flat feet. So I thought I failed. My dream was gone. I don't have a plan B. I don't know where I should go. So that is when I luckily got a campus placement in L&T, and I went there. But in between, in my college days and in my school days, something else was happening on the sidelines. I got into quizzing. I got into a lot of other activities. I've been here in this very campus for your Tech Fest to participate in the quizzing events. And something was changing inside me. One thing I realized was that if not Air Force, I'll find another way to serve my country. And I realized that civil service is a great opportunity to do the same. So that is when I thought, during my college days also, I had this okay, civil service is also a good option. So I'll consider it. And then during my working days, I thought I'll give my first attempt. I'll just go and give a trial attempt. I failed it, obviously, because nobody, we are not superheroes to clear civil service prelims without preparing. I failed it. But one thing I realized again was that, yes, if I prepare a bit for this, I can clear the next prelims. So I quit my job. Again, society was calling me a failure because I quit a job too soon. We have a society where girls are supposed to, join for work, get married by 25, 26, produce kids, and then lead a happy life. And that is the epitome of success for them. So I was again a failure there. I didn't follow the conventional way. I quit my job. I came to Trivandrum. And, I was again a failure in the family because I failed to turn up in family events. I was, not the ideal kid to be looked upon. Failure. Then again, I gave my first serious attempt. In 2018, I started preparing. I thought I've covered everything. I've studied well. I gave my first attempt. I cleared prelims that year. So if you know this examination, there are 3 stages to this exam. There is a prelims, there is a mains, and there is an interview. And this happens over a span of 8 to 9 months. You have a lot of syllabus to cover. You have history, geography, economics, etc. And me coming from an engineering background, I really struggled to get a grasp of all these subjects. But then somehow I did it. I took my first serious attempt. I cleared the prelims. I cleared the mains, and I was like, okay, now I'm succeeding, finally. Something good is happening. I went to the interview. I was fully confident. But something else happened in between. My grandmother, she was the one who raised me because my parents were working all the time. So she suffered a stroke and she was bedridden. And I couldn't prepare for my interview very well. And I failed the interview by 12 marks. I couldn't clear the cutoff that year by 12 marks. So again, a failure. And again, for no fault of my own because I couldn't get enough time to prepare. But still I thought, this is my first serious attempt. Nobody clears this examination in 1 or 2 attempts. I reached till the interview stage and I missed the cutoff by a very small margin. So if I persist one more time, I can clear this. So I started preparing again for the next prelims. I hardly had 1 month. Again, some personal losses happened in between. I had to travel from here to Trivandrum and back, and a lot of issues happened. And I missed the prelims cutoff by 1 mark. So if you know, again, as I said, this is an 8 to 9 month process. If you miss an examination, if you miss at any stage, you have to wait for another year for the examination to start again. So the next prelims was 1 year away, and I didn't know what to do. I missed the prelims. Again, society deems you a failure when you fail at any stage. And nobody knows about this examination, the level of difficulty or the competition that is there. If you fail it, you are deemed as you have not studied enough or you're not good enough to clear this. So that is what the society tells you. And this started happening. The stress got into me. I started binge eating junk food. I gained a lot of weight. I reached some 75 kilos in weight. I was very unhealthy. My apartment, it was in the first floor, and my lift was not working, and I couldn't even climb the stairs during that time because I was getting overweight and I was very unhealthy. I was binge watching web series, crying all the time, and the stress started getting into me. I even stopped visiting family. Sriram, he's my uncle. He might not have seen me for 1 year in that 2019 phase. I stopped visiting everyone. I didn't even visit my family, my parents at home. I stayed in Trivandrum. I cried for days. And, after some time I thought that, okay, I'll get up now because the prelims is nearing again. I wasted some 6-7 months. The prelims was about to commence. Okay, I'll start preparing. I have one more chance and I don't have a plan B again. I don't have an alternate career. I left my corporate, and you from management studies, you might know it very well that it's very difficult to re-enter the corporate world if you have a 2-3 year gap, career gap. So I thought, okay, I'll give one more prelims, I'll try again, and I started preparing. And that is when the coronavirus happened. The examination, it was postponed. You don't know when the exam was going to happen again, if at all it will happen, if we are all going to die or not. And we don't know if there is a cure for this or not. That stressful time of peak corona, first lockdown happened. I was again stuck in Trivandrum. I was stuck inside my head, where again all these questions will come. You are going to, what if this exam gets postponed for another year? You are going to have a 4-year career gap. Again, it's going to be a very difficult thing to bridge. So I started appearing or applying for other examination, and that is how I turned up at the air traffic control examination also. But then again the exam came. Luckily for us, the vaccines came, and lockdown was eased, and the exam happened on time. I went for the prelims, I did well. I went for the mains, I cleared, and finally I went for the interview, and now I'm here getting a 6th rank. So this is the story of my failure. So, thank you. And I'm not saying that I've succeeded, because everyone is saying I've reached the zenith of success and I've achieved everything that I want to in my life. I have not. Because the thing about success is that when you achieve a goal, you realize that the goalpost has changed. There is something new to achieve now. Now that I've achieved a 6th rank, my aim is not at all to get into civil service, but to be a good civil servant, to do something good for the society, and to use my capacity to make a positive change in the society. There is this famous dialogue from a movie, with great power comes great responsibility. So that is my stage now. The initial sir was asking me, how did you feel once you find your name in the list? I felt really happy. I felt at peace that I'm not jobless anymore. But after a few hours, the reality started sinking in, that I am going to get into the civil service. I'm going to be an IS officer. One small decision or one wrong decision I make can impact the life of hundreds of people. It can be the reason why Mullaperiyar Dam might burst another day, a decision I make. And that kind of responsibility scares you or humbles you. And then your success in an examination doesn't matter anymore. Your success as a civil servant is what is more important. Now, I would like to revisit the story that I told right now, that I told you a story about my failures. I'll go back. I'm going to bore you a bit by repeating the same thing. But then I'll tell you how it led me to my success today. Had I cleared the medical by some error of the doctor, and had I got into Air Force, I would have been a very big liability to the Indian Air Force. I would not have been a good officer. I wouldn't be able to do the bare minimum physical task that was required. And I would have been one day the reason for some mishap that happened in the Air Force and bring some issues to the system. So I'm thankful that that didn't happen, that I didn't clear it that year, or that I was properly medically rejected that year by the Honorable Medical Board. Then I wouldn't consider my first attempt a failure because that was again a trial attempt. But in 2018, had I bridged that 12-mark gap, I would have gotten into service. I would have got some rank. But then I wouldn't have got the rank of my preference, and that wouldn't have led me to the service of my preference. That would have given me some service in some area of the government. If you see, there are many services. It's not just the IAS, IPS, and the IFS. There are many other services. I would have gotten comfortable, and then the voices of society might have pushed me in another direction. Now that you've got into service, get married, have kids, lead a good life, and you have the power of and the glory of being a civil servant also, without getting into IAS. But that didn't happen because I missed out by 12 marks. So I'm very glad that that happened in 2018. And in 2019, if I had cleared the prelims, I would have gotten into the cycle again. I just hardly had 1 month to prepare from the 2018 interview to the 2019 prelims. And I wouldn't get enough time to introspect on my mistakes. I wouldn't get enough time to take some rest, travel, correct my mistakes, change my strategy, plan accordingly, study well, and then give a good attempt. This time wouldn't have been there for me if I had cleared the 2019 prelims. Even if I had failed in the 2019 mains or 2019 interview, I wouldn't have got this kind of time. And that time was very crucial for the success in my 2020 attempt. So when I look back, I realized that the 2019 1-mark failure, which I thought I failed in my life again, that was not a failure at all. That was in fact the biggest turning point in my life, which contributed to such a good rank in the service or in this examination. And then 2020 this happened, and now I have succeeded by the standards of this examination. If I do really become a successful civil servant or not is for the time to tell. So what you should do is that you should not be very, now that you've achieved success, you can sit simply, because the real test will start now for me and for every one of you once you've achieved the dream position. So, yeah. So what I want to tell you is that there will be points in your life when you feel that you've failed, when you'll feel that you're stuck somewhere, that there is no way out. But do realize that hindsight is always 20/20. So one day when you look back, you'll realize that these points of failure will be the biggest turning points of your life, because that is what is going to mold your success. I was a student who scored very well in my 10th standard, 12th standard. I got a good rank in the engineering entrance examination. I got into GEC. I was an 8-pointer there. I got into L&T. But these were not measures of my success, or these were very small contributing factors to my success. The biggest contributing factors to my success were always my failures. So what I would like to tell you is that do embrace your failures. Wait for failures to happen so that you can turn that into the biggest success points of your life. Yes, I hope that is enough of philosophy for today. We can keep the rest of the time for interacting with each one of you. First, I would like to thank the Sahridaya Institute of Management Studies and Trichur Management Association for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk and interact with each one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.